guys, this is Jamie from System22 and GreatWebDesign.com. In this video we're going to continue with our Divi theme customizations, and we're going to show you how to put a search box in your Divi menu here. And it's not as complicated as you might think. Some people tend to do it with PHP, adding a hook, putting it into your functions.php file, which means you've got to create a child thing, which isn't too bad, but some people find PHP a little daunting. So we're going to do it the easy way. So let's get started. What you want to do is go to your WordPress dashboard and go to Pages and just add a new page. It doesn't matter what you call it, and save it as a draft. Once we've saved it as a draft, we want to preview it by hitting the preview button. And as you can see, it's a pretty much blank page, but it has got our little search box right in the right hand corner here. And this is what we're going to want to use. Now, I'm using the Google Chrome browser. If you're not using it, I suggest you do if you really want to follow along with this. It's a free download and it's fantastic for editing websites. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to right click on this little box here and hit the inspect. You can also use Control-Shift-I or F12. That's going to open up our inspection panel. And over on the left-hand side, we've got our HTML, which is what we want here. And you see there where it says Form. We've actually selected the input text because that's what I was clicking on when I right-clicked. But we want to go up to the form where it says Form. And there's the end of it where it says /form. That's the opening tag. And that's the closing tag. Now what I want to do is right click on the opening form tag up there and select Edit as HTML. Once we've done that, it'll open in its own little box, and we need to copy everything from the opening form arrow there to the end of the closing form arrow there. So select it, left click and drag, copy it, or just hit Control-C. Once we've copied that, you might want to put it into a little notepad. So we've got that copied. Let's go back to our dashboard. We can close out the inspector by either hitting F12 or hitting the little X on the right hand side there. Now we want to go down to Appearance and Menus. And here's our current menu. If we take a look up here, this is our current menu that we've got selected at the moment for our Divi theme. So what we're going to do now is go down to Custom Links, and where it says URL you have to put something in, so I'm just going to put a hashtag in, Shift hashtag. Now we need to paste that code, that HTML that we just copied starting with the opening form tag, into the link text box here. So I'm going to hit Control-V to paste it in there. Now I'm going to hit the Add to Menu button. And there it is. It looks a bit messy, but it will do the trick, believe me. Let's just, while we're in here, I said we had to put in a link. Once it's over here, we can get rid of that link so it doesn't try to go anywhere when we click on it. Now, where would you like to put it? Right here, it's at the end. That's okay. Let's put it, I'm going to put it up there at the beginning. So you just click and drag, and there we have it. It's before my first entry there. Now if we go Save Menu, and now we can go to our site and preview it. Visit site. There it is. We've got it in our menu at the top here. Now it doesn't look particularly good, so we can customize it easily. If you want to leave that there, that's fine, but I think I'd choose to get rid of that search for text there, and we'll customize this a little bit. So essentially we've put our search box up there. But let's go ahead and customize it. So the first thing we want to do is get rid of that. Click on it and hit the inspect button. That's the screen reader text, I believe. Yep, there it is, screen reader text. And all we need to do there is write display, colon, none, semicolon. And that'll get rid of that. Now let's make a note of this code in our little notepad that we had. So I'm just selecting it and Control C to copy. I'll bring my notepad over, drop down a few. You can get rid of this if you want to. It's kind of handy to have. It's only I put it in a notepad just in case I'm doing something else and I've copied something else in between. So let's paste that little bit of code. So I'll drop down a few lines and place that bit of code I copied in there, display none. Move that back out of the way. And it's screen reader text. That was the class. So we can either write it or we can do the same as we did before, just edit as HTML, and you can select it. Now I've selected it. What we want to do is put a hashtag in front of it so it knows that it's talking to that particular element, that ID. So we've copied that and we'll put this in the CSS, custom CSS when we're ready. Okay, what about our search button? Let's use that nice blue color that we've been using. So if I just click on here, that's given us our color. So again, I'll just left click on it to highlight it, Control C to copy it, and we'll go back to our little input button there. Search submit, that's it. And I'll copy that. And I'll put in background. Colon, and paste that color in there. Now as you see, it's changed that color to that blue we wanted, but now I want the writing white. So if we just drop down one more, I'll just put color, and white is FFF. Well, it's actually 6 Fs, but when it's 6 of the same, you only have to put 3 in there. Okay, so we've done that. Now it looks a little bit cramped in there, and it's got some kind of styling going on around the outside that we don't want. That's the border. So we'll just drop down one more, give it border, none. Should have got rid of that. Yep, that's got rid of that. Now we want to make it a bit fatter or bigger, so we'll just add some padding. Drop down another one. And for those of you who've seen this before, you know, but for those that haven't, when we're editing the CSS live in Chrome like this, it's non-destructive. So as soon as we go back and refresh the page, our site will go back to how it was before we started editing. So you can get really carried away, do what you want without worrying about breaking or ruining your site. So back to our edit, I'm going to do padding, colon. Let's give it, say 10. I'm only using 2 attributes here, so the first attribute will be top and bottom, so I've given it 10. And let's give it, say 15 left and right. Second attribute is left and right. You can do individuals by putting, 10 top, 15 right. Next one would be bottom, and the one after that would be left, if you want to do custom padding for each side. So that's kind of looking like it. Let's make those corners a little rounded. And to do that, we use border radius. Border radius, colon. Don't want it too rounded, so let's try 4 pixels, 5 pixels. Let's see. And that's giving it a nice little rounded border. Obviously, if you wanted to make that font bigger, you could just add font size and make it whatever size you want your font. I'm quite happy with that as it is, though. Actually, it could be a bit bigger to keep it looking like the other menu items up there. Yeah, let's make that a little bit bigger then. Font size, colon, let's try 16 pixels. That's about right. Try 15 pixels. Yeah, I think 16 was better. Let's change that back to 16. I'm just left clicking on the little box. Yep, that'll do. I mean, we can make the font weight heavier, but I won't go too much into depth for that now. So if we're happy with our button, just copy this code to search submit, all the way from the top of the search to the bottom of that closing curly brackets there. Control C to copy, or you can right click and copy, however you like to do it. We'll put that in our little box right here, our little notepad that we've been using. Now we want to make that a little bit more in line with our search box there. So if we inspect that one, and I believe it's that right there, yes, the input text. Okay, you can see down here, if we just uncheck a few of these, this is our little input area here. If I change the color, we'll just make sure I'll make it black 000. Yep, that changed it black. So we know that's our area. So I'll just put that back to white. And we want to make it similar to our little box there. So the border, you can see it's this grey color here. Let's go ahead and use our little blue color that we've been using. Of course, it's entirely up to you. You want to put it however you want to use it. So I've got my little notepad over here with the colors in it and everything that we had just now. I'll just copy that in. So it's changed that border to blue now. I don't know if you'll be able to see that, because it's quite slight. And we'll change the padding so it's a little bit more same size as our search box kind of thing. So what if let's try 10. Okay, that's there, and let's give it the same rounded corners as we got for the button to finish it off. And that was border radius. 5 pixels, I believe. There we go. So now we just need to copy that from the eye of the input till the closing curly bracket at the bottom there. Control C. And we'll put it in our little notepad. There we have it. We don't need anything that we haven't changed, so it won't hurt if you leave it in there, but you can take out anything that you haven't changed. Cursor pointer, we didn't change that. Background, we did change. Font size, we did change. Color, yes. Border, none, we changed that. Padding, we changed all that, so we want all that. And on our screen reader text, which is taking that placeholder text away, we've got no curly brackets, so we need to put some curly brackets in there. So we'll put an opening curly bracket after the screen reader and a closing curly bracket just after display none. Okay, so that seems pretty good. What I'm going to do is I'm going to copy that whole lot there, Control C, move this one out of the way. And what I was saying earlier about this being non-destructive, if I close the inspector now if I just hit the refresh button, this will change all back to how it was, the default value. Boom, and there it is. So what we need to do is go into our Divi dashboard here, go down to Theme Options, scroll all the way down to the bottom here to our Custom CSS and open it up. You may not have anything in there, but I always put my new CSS at the bottom. Well, actually, I've got that remove bottom bar there. I'm going to leave that. I'm going to put it in between here. And I'll give it a title so I can find it easier. So that's / / and put your title in the middle there. Search. And then all I need to do is drop down a couple. We've copied that text from our notepad here. And we just want to paste it in there. Okay. I'm just going to tidy it up. A little anal. It'll still work, but don't want too many gaps in there. That's fine. Okay, save our changes. Now if we go back to our site, when I refresh, this should change back to the custom code that we put in there. That should disappear. That should become blue and a lot wider, and of course that should be blue and white with no border there. Let's try it. And there we have it. Oh, hello, our screen reader text is still there. Let's see where we went wrong here. I know exactly what I've done. It's a class. I put a hashtag in front of it thinking it was an ID, but it's a class. So we just need to put a dot in front of it, I believe, or period. So if we go back, change that to a period. Now save our changes. Go back and refresh. Bingo, that's gone. So there you have it. That is how to add a search box to your Divi menu. You can download a PDF of this code below this video. Once again, this has been Jamie from System22 and GreatWebDesign.com. Thanks for watching and have a great day.